Hi everyone, just got the Theos wireless digital UHF system and I'm very impressed. As good as it is, it could be better. Most of my comments have to do with the Sidus audio application. Let's get into it. My wish list for the Sidus audio application: number one, fix the interface so it is aware of the display space on whatever device it is running on, so it adapts to the space and allows the user to have access to all controls in the interface. Make sure it works well on devices that allow applications to be displayed side by side. I would also like you to add a new interface. So in addition to the existing interfaces in the Sidus Audio app, I would like you to add one that is dedicated to monitoring. This would be a screen space efficient interface consisting of one line per transmitter, displayed as a list that goes from the top down. Each line in the interface would display the status of the transmitter. Transmitter can also trigger an alert. An alert is triggered when one or more conditions are met. These can be, but not limited to, lost transmitter or non-active transmitter. The app must have a way for the user to flag a transmitter as being armed. This is similar to the arms status for sound devices mixed pre-channel. Transmitters flagged as armed are expected to be active. If an armed transmitter goes missing, it should trigger an alert. There should be a low battery alarm. Might also include in the transmitter a timer to track its on time. So whenever the transmitter is on, it should add to this timer until it's reset. And it should be reset. It should be resettable. A way to reset it when you replace the battery. Maybe it can detect when there is no battery in the unit and you just added a new one. I don't know. Maybe you have to trigger it in the menu. Then within the app, you should be able to set a threshold on time that you would use to indicate that the battery is getting old. I'm not an expert in lithium batteries, but my understanding is that they keep a pretty constant voltage over their discharge life. So keeping track of the time left on a battery may be difficult to do, especially given that there's probably going to be a lot of new batteries coming on the market here in the next decade. So if a person could get experience a particular brand of battery that they use in these units, and they could set the on-time threshold to alert that the battery is getting stale within the app. Also, since this is a digital UHF system, it should know when it's lost communication with the transmitter. If it should keep track of these dropouts, and if the number of dropouts per minute or per hour or whatever exceeds a certain threshold, there should be an alert on that. Right now, you know when the time goes out of sync, there should be an alert on that. You know when the firmware is not updated, you should be an alert on that. It knows when the transmitter is in mute mode, alert on that, and sleep mode, alert on that. If it's recording, alert on that. Transmitter is running out of recording space. I haven't seen that in the interface, but the transmitter should know about that. And then whatever other conditions that the user community might find useful to alert on that. Alerts can be categorized into three different kinds: a warning, an error, and a status. In the interface, there should be a method for the user to determine what trigger will generate what alert, or if it generates any alert at all. And then basically, a given alert should have a color associated with it. So an error should have a red, a warning should be a yellow, a status should be a green, and then maybe no color for everything else. And within the interface, the list interface, any transmitter that is, let's say, in the error alert status, they should be at the top of the list. Any transmitter that's in warning should be in the area below the error section. Any transmitter in status should be in green below that, and then everything else should be below that. And then basically when you click on a line in the interface, it should show that the transmitter interface for that selected transmitter. In addition to the monitoring interface, it would be nice to have a way to provide additional name to the transmitter that would be included in the WAV file as track metadata. So, like if this was a narrative project, you could associate that with a character name. It would also be nice if there was a way to control the transmitter recorded name with some information like scene, shot, take. Also, it would be nice if when you're selecting transmitters to start recording, instead of just all, you could select only those transmitters that were armed. Things that would be helpful in a production environment but are not necessary, I think would make it really cool, is if you included in the app some kind of a database. Could be an open source relational database, could just be a data file, and that it would track and record information about when you started recording, what to tag by date and time, the names that you gave it and the tracks if that functionality is implemented. If there were battery changes, that could be recorded in the database. Or maybe for you to be able to go in and say, if you couldn't record it immediately, because it can get crazy on set, but if you remembered that you changed the battery, you could go back in and put the date and the time that you did that, and it would keep track of the runtime. Also, that if any triggers or alerts occurred, that was also logged, and that the ability to organize this data into projects, so that you could generate reports from it that you could submit to production. Anyway, that's my current thoughts. It's a very cool system. I like it so far. I'm pretty excited about it, and I just can't wait to see what Deity adds to it in the future. Those are my thoughts, and I'm signing out. Bye.